Hi guys, welcome to this video lecture. So this is Dr. Moorthy, working as assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. So this is a lecture series of engineering mechanics. So in this video we are going to discuss about a topic called a laws of sliding friction. So in this lecture video we will discuss about what is friction and what are the advantages and disadvantages of friction and the application of friction in the real world application. So first we should know what is friction. So the friction is created between the surfaces when the one object is sliding over another object or moving over another object in the opposite direction. In that phase it creates the friction. So when a body moves or tends to move over another body, a force opposing the motion develops at the contact surfaces as said earlier, and which forces oppose the movement or tendency of movement is called frictional force or simply called as friction. See the diagram. This is the surface in the mentioned in the green color, and there is an object, and there is a push type of forces acting on the object. It is pushing the object towards the right side, and it indicates the motion of the object in towards the right side, and in the red side, in the friction force acting in the towards left side, that is opposite to the motion of object. So this is in that way the friction is developing between the object. The friction the hint is the friction force is acting in the opposite direction of the object movement. So also it is the force acting the direction to the motion, and the friction force in the opposite direction. And the friction is the force distribution at the surface of contact between two bodies that prevents or impedance sliding motion of one body related to another body. So the friction force, it plays a major role of the between the contact surfaces, and it prevents or it resists the motion between the surfaces. And see, there are different types of friction based on the contact surface between the objects. So it starts with the static friction. The static friction is developed when the object is in at rest, and kinetic friction, this kinetic friction is created when the object is in moving condition. So static means it's a rest and the friction during the rest. It's a kinetic friction means the friction developed during the motion of object. And rolling resistance, rolling resistance is one object is rolling over the another surface. In that condition the friction is developed, it is called rolling resistance. So first, a static friction. So there is a table in which the ball is kept, the ball at rest. So the force and some reactions are zero, there is no motion, so it is a static friction. And the second one is kinetic friction. See, the man is pushing the ball towards the right side, so the kinetic friction appears, that is the movement of the body is towards the right side, so the ball starts moving, so that the kinetic friction. So the kinetic friction is the friction is developed between the surfaces when there is a movement. And the rolling resistance, for an example, if we take a ball or football or volleyball, the ball is rolling, or it's a roller, it's roll over the another surfaces, it is called rolling resistance. And the laws, next one is the laws of dry friction, or the coefficient of friction. So see, the contact surface is in the horizontal surface, the ball is or the object is placed over there, and what are the different forces, like the P is the applied force acting towards the right side to the object, and there is a movement of is towards the right side, because the force is acting towards the right side, and the normal reaction is always acting to the opposite direction of contact surface, and there is a self weight, right? So so the here the F is the friction force, W is the self weight, N is the normal reaction. So the normal reaction is directly proportional to friction force. So the coefficient of friction is equal to, the definition says the coefficient of friction is equal to the frictional force divided by normal reaction. So the friction force is equal to coefficient of friction multiplied with the normal reaction. The same here. And the first one, in the first here, there is no friction. No friction means there is no external forces acting, that is there is no movement in the object. And the second one, the applied force, here the applied force is lesser than the frictional force, that is the lesser than frictional force, where the friction force is higher than the applied force, that since there is no motion. And the second third one is motion impending. That motion impending means In general, the impending motion is when the applied forces overcomes the frictional force, then the object is starts to move. So that point is called impending motion. That is, the applied force is equal to the frictional force. So the object is about to move, just movement, that called impending motion. And then for fourth one is the applied force is much greater than the frictional force. So the object in moving towards where the force is applied. Similarly, the object in inclined surface, first one no friction, second one same, the object is first case the object is placed in the horizontal surface, the second one it is inclined surface. Similarly, no motion, that is the third one impending motion, fourth one the object is in full flow. It means the applied force is much greater than the friction force, so the object is free to slide or move or slide or roll. So that is the key role of the friction in the engineering applications. Thank you.